Okay, so we have officially been on the Tizoo for 3 whole months now. We are at 700 subscribers and I've been relatively consistent. So let's do a 3-month recap, what I've learned as a beginner YouTuber and what my plans are for the next 3 months. Hi, I'm Whitney, digital lifestyle content creator and social media consultant, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. This is where we talk about the business of social media. So if you're new and you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Today, I'm doing a little recap. So I guess it's more like a reflection, maybe not a recap. I don't know. But today we're going to talk about my first 3 months as a beginner YouTube, and I'm also going to share what my plans are for the next 3 months. Let me know in the comments where you are on your YouTube journey, and are you a beginner, or are you in the same boat as me and you just started, or have you been here for a while? And if you have, go ahead and drop your girl some tips. But let me know in the comments where you are on your YouTube journey. So I started this channel after doing a spiritual fast. I think it was like January. So my church did a fast like right at the beginning of the year. And the entire time I was fasting, all I heard was YouTube. And I've been wanting to get on YouTube for a while, but honestly, I ain't gonna lie. I was scared. I was intimidated. I kept putting it off because I knew that just getting on here was about to unlock a whole different part of me that I don't know if I was necessarily ready for. And I knew I was going to have to be myself and be vulnerable and talk to the camera. And I ain't never been over here on YouTube, but some of y'all be having negative bots underneath your comments. And so I was pretty much scared, but also a little lazy. There was a little laziness mixed up with it because I knew it was going to take some work. I knew I was going to have to like learn something new and get uncomfortable. But anyway, it's been on my vision board for years. No cap. But this year we decided to go for it. So I kind of started out on a whim. I really didn't have a plan. I just started recording it. All I had at the time was my iPhone. And I remember mapping out this whole vlog and then recording it on my iPhone and then accidentally deleting all of the footage. And then later on, I decided to use my Canon R6 to do like these little sit down chats because it's really good at video. But anyway, one thing I remember on the journey, and this is probably way off topic, but one thing I remember on the journey is that every time I would get to a place that I wanted to give up, or 9 times out of 10, the times that I wanted to give up was because I didn't know what to do next. And so I remember getting to a place where I was like, well, I've tried everything. I don't know how to fix this one problem, so I'm going to just stop. But before doing that, I actually said a prayer, and I started saying this prayer every time I got to a place where I was like, I don't want to do this no more. This ain't really making sense. And so I would ask God, what's next? Just give me the next step. I just need to know what to do this very moment next. And no cap, every time I would ask, it would appear or it would come to me. So if you're like me and you're on your journey and you're like, girl, I don't even know what to do, ask God. Just ask God. So the first video I posted was I quit my job and I was just winging it. There wasn't a script. There wasn't any lighting. I just remember being so happy because I posted it. And I really just wanted to get that monkey off my back and say I did it because I said I was going to do it. So I remember posting it and being happy and nervous and anxious about it. But that was my first video. But we've been going strong over here as a beginner YouTube for the last 3 months. And because we're so new here and I don't really know what to post, I got to experiment with a variety of types of content. And I'm going to share which ones I tried and how they ranked in performance. Number one was the unfiltered raw videos, kind of like this one where I don't really have a script. I'm just chatting and it's just us talking about whatever talking points that I have. It's pretty lax. I noticed that if I do like an unfiltered raw storytelling session, I've seen people do like life update. Those are stories that you just sit down and talk. So I feel like this authentic, just talking to each other, those videos do the best. The second place goes to tech. So every time I posted a tech video, which was usually about my camera or my setup, those performed really good. And then third were vlogs. I shared quite a few vlogs and they were the third most viewed type of video. To me, vlogs are the hardest because not only is it hard to edit because you have to go through so much footage and get it to like be cohesive and flow and be interesting at the same time, but I'm also realizing that it's kind of hard to to freestyle it because it's a vlog, which means you just turn on the camera and talk to people. Number 4 were shorts. I just repurposed reels and TikToks that I had from Instagram and TikTok, and of the shorts, the best performing shorts were my DIY home projects. I think it's because it's a story, it's a storyline, it's a beginning, a middle, and then it obviously has an end or like a before and after. 5th, my sit down educational videos, my favorite videos. They did the worst. But I'm okay because I'm still going to post them. And the reason I'm still going to post them is because they are considered like evergreen content, meaning that years from now, people could probably still be searching for this topic versus vlog. People probably aren't watching your vlogs from 2 years ago. So even though they performed the lowest, I'm still going to create them. So being a beginner on YouTube, you learn a lot of lessons. Hopefully you are learning a lot of lessons. And so I'm just going to outline the biggest lessons I've learned so far. Number 1 being that the thumbnails and the title mean far more than the actual content. So people put a lot of effort and energy into editing and the script and all those things. But I feel like before you even get to the editing and the script and the recording and all of those things, like you need to already have what is the thumbnail going to look like and what is the title going to be, because those things mean far more than the actual content. People won't watch the amazing content if they're not intrigued to like click on it. So it's worth it to spend a little bit more time on good title and a good thumbnail. One thing I really love about YouTube is that you can change the thumbnails and the title. So you could like test it out, do a week or so with this thumbnail and this title, and then change it up and see if it does better. So remember I told you earlier that 5th place was my educational videos. Well, I'm going to play around with those. I'm going to see if I can change up the thumbnails and the titles to see if I can get some more traction headed to those videos. Second biggest thing I learned from being a beginner on YouTube is that SEO is gold. I have a background in SEO from my blogging days, so I kind of knew what it took to like optimize your content so that it's searchable. For YouTube, I use TubeBuddy. This is just how I search for popular but not too competitive keywords. And then once I have keywords that are pertaining to the actual content that I'm creating, then I'm placing those keywords in the title, the description, in the tags, and I'm placing them in the audio. So I don't know if you've noticed this, but I have said YouTube beginner or beginner YouTube quite a few times in this video so far. And that's because YouTube does auto captions, and auto captions is just like YouTube creating a script from your video. And that is what they use to determine what your video is about. So this is another good way to make your videos more searchable, like SEO friendly. The third thing I learned is that YouTube is not Instagram. YouTube is an entirely different beast. And when you are on Instagram and you come to YouTube, pretty much any platform, when you're on one platform and you switch over to another platform, you almost try to treat both platforms like they're the same. And I originally thought I would easily be able to get the 21,000 people that follow me on Instagram to just, come over here and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And honestly, they don't care. So when you get to YouTube, just expect to grow, expect to start from zero and just work your way up. So number 4 thing that I learned as a beginner YouTuber is that YouTube analytics, chef's kiss, it is superior. I check my analytics regularly because I'm just waiting on my day to pop off. Like, when am I going to go viral? So I check them pretty frequently. But I also use them to help me make decisions involving the channel, keep up with the watch time, the retention tracker, audience breakdowns, percent view. Like, it's so thorough. You can learn a lot about your channel and your audience from your insights. And then the 5th thing that I've learned as a beginner YouTuber is that people notice when you are being yourself. And I knew when I started this channel that that was something that I was going to struggle with. So I knew I was going to have to work really hard at just showing up as myself. And sometimes I'm not the most interesting person, and sometimes I got a lot going on and it looks like I'm interesting. I just knew that I was going to struggle with showing up as myself. And so I was working really hard to be my authentic self. And that meant just showing up however I decided to show up, even if I'm not camera ready. And the reason I'm saying this is because people actually noticed. So I knew internally I was working hard to be myself. And then I started getting like comments where people would leave comments saying this was so real, this was so authentic. And then that was just kind of like confirmation that I'm trying and it's working. So those were the 5 biggest lessons that I've learned as a beginner YouTuber. Take them with a grain of salt because I am not an expert. I'm a beginner. I've only been over here for 3 months, and honestly, I'm learning as we speak. But here's what my next 3 months YouTube goals are gonna look like. Number one, I need to get organized. Baby, I'm balancing two different platforms right now. Each one of the platforms has two different goals, two different audiences, two different expectations. And it's some people who are on TikTok, Pinterest, Threads. Like, it's some people who have everything, Facebook, everything mapped out in their content strategy. My content strategy has always just been about Instagram, but now I'm having to include YouTube. And so one of them is being neglected. And it's weird because the one that pays me is the one I'm neglecting right now. And I can't fluff up one bag trying to get another bag. Did y'all see that one video of that black lady who was at the grocery store? Well, actually, it was three ladies. It was two white ladies and a black lady. They were at the grocery store, and the guy was having like this competition where underneath the bread, you could pick up a bread and win the money. Well, one lady won $100. Another lady won $200, but a black lady won $300. Tell me why. Just tell me, have y'all seen it? Anyway, she ended up trading in the $300 for $2. So I went on a tantrum. Basically, what I'm saying is I'm not trying to F up my $300 bag to get a $2 bag. So in order to not fluff up everything, I need to create some kind of system, like a content calendar, so that I can be more organized with my daily task. My second goal for the next 3 months, and I know this is about to sound crazy because it sounded crazy to me when I said it, but I want to land a partnership. Hear me out. I know I only got 700 subscribers. I know. But I pitched this idea to a brand, and the idea was actually for Instagram, but then they low key slid in YouTube. And I was like, how did you even know that I have a YouTube? So my mom was blown that they even knew that I was on YouTube. And so it makes me think possibly I could land a brand deal. What actually happened is I turned that brand deal down because we couldn't agree on a compensation. But the fact that they even noticed that I had a YouTube means that I could probably monetize this. My next goal for the next 3 months is to get 2,000 watch hours. And I know I'm reaching. I know I'm reaching when I say that. But in the first 3 months, I reached 1,008 watch hours. So my goal is to double that. But I will report back in the next 3 months to let y'all know how it's going. And then I want to hear how it's going for y'all. Now, at this point in the video, you may be wondering, who is this girl and who does she think she is? And that is why I want you to check out this video where I talk about how I quit my job. I tell you the entire story of how I even got to this point. Or you may be wondering, how can I start? And in that case, you'll want to watch this video, the fastest route to becoming a paid content creator. Let me know in the comments if you like this video. If you did, let's chat in the comments. Let me know like where you are in your journey and drop some tips if you have any. But this was fun. It was a chill, low-key, sit down talk. Nothing formal, but I will check y'all in the next video. Bye.